¿Qué onda, banda? ¿Cómo están? Espero que estén muy bien. Y banda, sean bienvenidos a este episodio de God of War Ragnarok. Vamos a continuar en la tercera, pues yo diré tercera incursión. No sé, y lo digo más que nada por las peleas de Tyr. No sé si aquí nuevamente peleamos con él, seguramente así. Así que bueno, vamos a arrancar con esto.
Milady, how is Alfheim these days? Does the peace hold?
It's tenuous, but holding. Endless war tends to breed quite a bit of mistrust. Thankfully, the elves, Bela and Bigvir, are in positions of influence due to their association with Freyr and involvement in Ragnarok. It's the best chance at lasting peace the realm has ever had.
What about the findings in the consul's journal? Have they shared it with the rest of the elves?
Not yet, but give them time.
Vale. Y banda, no olviden revisar la descripción del video. Más que nada porque ahí pueden encontrar el link de Twitch, banda, donde estamos transmitiendo esto y seguramente otro de los juegos que estén viendo pues en el canal de YouTube. Entonces, si gustan ver los momentos anticipadamente, pues ahí está el canal, banda. Ahí está, tenemos más o menos. Y pues eso, bueno, así que les recomiendo que chequen esto. También está el canal de WhatsApp en donde les spameo básicamente donde cuando tenemos video nuevo y...
Succeed or fail, I feel progress, clarity. I need to see it through.
Very good, brother.
Ok, donde les spameo cuando haya video nuevo, estamos en vivo. Sí. Parece que ese sí está potente, está bueno. Así que sí. Ya, uno menos. Como que estos, los primeros niveles empiezan muy lento, bueno, muy tranquilos, vaya. No, pues vámonos por eso, que parece que está más potente y nos serviría más. Así que sí. Bueno, espero que... ay.
An infamous act. One they still spoke of in the years of rebuilding. I somehow doubted they meant it so literally.
I'll give you this, brother. Your technique has improved immeasurably.
I needed his power to secure my vengeance against the gods. I believed I had no choice.
No choice? You could have not ripped my head off my body. That was absolutely an option.
And he's back.
But that wasn't the worst of it, was it, Kratos? Killing me deprived Greece of the sun. They were plunged into perpetual cold and darkness. Crops ceased to grow. Famine descended on our homeland. Not that you cared.
Enough.
He is bitter, isn't he?
Ok. No sé si hay una explicación de qué pasó después ahí en Grecia, o sea, además de esto, que hay un cómic, algo que diría que pues.
Kratos, I'm curious. Your decision to behead Helios, was it fueled by any personal motivations? Or was it really just a means to an end?
It was not personal. I did know him long before I killed him. He was as insufferable as any god. But his death brought me no satisfaction.
Did you know what would happen as a result?
When Helios was captured by the god of dreams, the lands fell into darkness and were not restored until his return. I knew exactly what would happen.
Ok, eso pasó en el Chains of Olympus. Vale, vámonos ahora sí, banda. Ah, chinga, tengo que subir a fuerzas por acá. Ay, güey, este vato movió muy rápido. Ok, pensé que ya se había muerto.
Another Droga to the left!
Casi. Ok, pues ahí está. Estuvo como que muy la verdad. Pero bueno, vámonos de aquí, banda. Parece que no hay jarrones, no hay nada más. Había una piedra de vida. Pero bueno, vitalidad. Vámonos por la vida. Bueno, creo que ahora sí servirá la piedra. Ah, caray, me la quitaron. Qué buena piedra. Sí, creo que me quitaron la piedra. Ok, vamos a escoger ecos o sello rúnico, creo era. Ah, no, pues podemos agarrar los dos, ¿verdad? Jejeje. A ver. No, es más, estaba utilizando más este y es más común, así que sí. Ok, vale. Sí, solo podía escoger uno, pensé que podía escoger los dos. Chale.
Kratos, I hope you'll forgive me for overhearing. But before you first found your way to me, you were grappling with the symbolism of your former seat of power. May I offer a perspective?
You may.
Before I became God of War, I felt as hesitant as you did. I feared that taking the throne would only validate Odin's power hierarchy, which even then I didn't trust. But I decided I could wield a better influence on the inside than on the outside. There are many ways to lead, and not all of them involve ruling. The throne and the office are only what you bring to them.
Vámonos. Buen consejo por parte. Opinión de parte del buen Tyr.
Left side, brother!
Chin.
On your right! Behind you, brother!
Ya queda uno por ahí.
Left side, brother!
Llama de Helios. Venganza de Hades. Vamos a utilizar este. Nomás porque es a distancia, güey.
Tyr, earlier you spoke to me as though I seek to lead. As if I were someone to be followed.
Your self-criticisms, valid and otherwise, seem well reflected here in Valhalla. It's no accident that your mind manifested that throne. It's more than a symbol. It's a challenge to revisit your assumptions. Mimir is right. You have the power, and I think the wisdom, to redefine what it means to you. To assert that power is to prove to yourself that the chair doesn't change you. It doesn't make you a new person. Not if you know who you are and why you serve.
Vámonos, espero que sea así.
Behind you, brother! I believe your target's on the battlefield there.
Ahí está.
Bifrosted, brother. Stay alert. Use a shield strike, brother.
Buenísimo.
That's the one you needed. Ah, the burden is lifted. Let's make it worthwhile.
Lastre liberado. Oye, de hecho tenía un lastre en la sala anterior y no me... o una de las anteriores y no lo reclamé. Bueno. Defensa recarga, definitivamente. Nos vamos por ese, güey. Bueno, pues vamos bien, ¿eh? O sea, no hemos tenido tanto problema, creo yo.
Grand. We should be free to move up to the next area now.
Ya había pasado acá. Está bloqueado. Ok. Dame el Magnimoid. Ah, qué chido que podemos pelear con él otra vez, güey. Ok.
I hate that drumming.
No. Ok. Ok, el ciclo.
Plucking a son of Thor out of your memory of all things.
We meet once more, Ghost of Sparta.
Ok, momento contexto.
And lest we forget, Kratos, lest we neglect to place your deed in full and proper context, I saved your life. Me! And you literally tore off my head for my troubles. Imagine if all your new friends knew how you used to treat your old friends. Of course, you're not the same man, right? Now, you only get your friends killed through lack of foresight. Far easier to blame others that way, am I right?
I know you are a projection of the mind. But for what it is worth, the death I gave you wasn't just.
Oh, how touching. Yeah, not actually worth the spittle it took to mumble that out. Do not do that again. Nobody wants to hear that from you.
Pues ahí está. El trabajo parte 2, vigilancia.
A little something to remember me by. I truly hope it brings you unrelenting torment. Chills you just a little when they do that, doesn't it? Feels like judgment.
Si no me le sé, ese escudo era de... un güey que se hacía invisible, ¿no? En el God of War 2. Ah, pues ese es el escudo de Helios. ¿A poco era ese vato? No me acuerdo. Bueno. ¿Y ahora qué se tiene que hacer acá? Desbloquear el camino a seguir. Bueno, tenemos combate nuevamente con la sirena. Ok.
Shit, Bifrost!
Wraiths! Oh, you've missed these slippery bastards, haven't you?
Espectros. Ah, caray, no me acuerdo de estos.
Still a monster, I see.
Ching. Ah, ya me acordé, güey. Pues se esconden bajo la tierra.
Watch from underneath!
Ahora ni me avisó que estaba atrás mío el otro vato, güey. No. Ah, buenísimo.
A minute off. Now we'll see who's half a man.
No, ¿qué codos?
It's charging at us.
¿Qué acabo de hacer, güey? Desperdicié tremendo ataque. Ok,
Sever the link already.
no mames, tremenda papeada. No, no se murió.
Until we meet again.
No, pues valió verga. Y ya lo tenía, güey. Estaba un pedísimo de morirse, güey.
Continue.
If you remember, I had shunned my father's herbal medicine after it failed to save him. I left my village and moved to the city. I scraped and scrounged, managed to survive, and became an apprentice to a renowned mage healer. I soaked up everything I could from her. And I was a natural, it turns out. Shedding my father's legacy came easy. In fact, I'd acquired quite the distaste for it. I cut herbal medicine out of my life completely. It was this rigidness that would prove the biggest mistake of my life. But I'll stop there for now. Valhalla demands the willingness to embrace discomfort.
Vale, pues ahí está.
Go on.
So, there I was, Little Miss Brawl Magnet. If I wasn't starting the fight, I was the first one charging in to join it. Maybe it's something in the Asgard water, but seemed like there was always a fight to be had. I guess I needed the rush, something to keep me sharp, feeling alive. I was driven without fear or frankly much sense to hold me back. Got myself a bit of a reputation, and that ended up being a problem. This notorious bully I'd humiliated held on to a grudge and tried to track me down. Found out way too easily who I was and where I lived. Set out to teach me a lesson. We'll pick it up there when you progress further.
Okay.
Sigrun, inside we encountered a son of Thor.
It wouldn't really be him in there, I can assure you. You have a memory of a past fight, and I'm sure Valhalla takes advantage.
But why him?
I don't think that's for me to say.
Well, something for us to ponder in between melees.
Lacha. Hey, tengo la tercera llave.
Ah, the key again.
We will talk later.
Brother, while I'd love to say I left Oberon's service as a matter of principle, the truth is it was much more a question of pride. If he'd simply shown me more appreciation, who knows how long I might have tolerated his evils. I certainly tolerated plenty from my subsequent employers before I could take no more. If I'm being honest, I was only too happy to offer my complicity in Queen Titania's humiliation.
What did you do?
I caused her to fall in love with something preposterous. An actor.
Un actor.
Your old master. He had you make his wife fall in love with another.
Aye, temporarily, by use of this magic flower. Though now it's clear to me the flower's effect isn't love exactly, but a kind of obsessive devotion that is too often mistaken for love. So of course the Queen made a fool of herself, as did all those under the flower's spell that night. Don't know how I ever got embroiled in such a farce.
You are wiser now.
I think so. Though that only makes up for so much past stupidity. Brother, you've told me many times of mortals you killed when in the god's service. What is it about this boat captain?
It would have cost me nothing to show him mercy. His life was in my hands. To be so casually cruel, this was nothing to me. And I treated his life as nothing. He was not a god who'd manipulated me nor bound me in service. I cannot hide behind my thirst for revenge. He was just a man afraid for his life, attacked and swallowed by a monster he had no hope of defeating. But the Hydra was just an animal. I showed him what a true monster looked like. Gunnar.
This is for you. Celebrate each accomplishment. Ready for more story?
Go on.
So, the bully with a grudge. He comes to the inn in the dead of night, chucks a bottle of fire through the window, sets the whole place ablaze. The coward thought I was inside in bed, but luckily I was just getting home. I saw the flames shoot up and surround where my father was sleeping. Well, this wasn't gonna be the day I started hesitating. I charged into the fire and dragged him out. Not unscathed exactly, either of us, but alive. And if I was too angry and fearless for my own good before, now, well, I charged right into that bastard's lair, me against his whole gang. Honestly, I had no business coming out of that alive. As it turned out, I came out of there with a job. But we'll get to that next time.
Ok. Es que no recuerdo su contexto, pero ok.
Sigrun, I wanted to tell you, Valhalla keeps sweeping me away to my own adventure in memory.
I wondered if it would. That's wonderful. What is it showing you?
Some particular events of my wayward youth. But they're in a loop of sorts. Not sure I've quite gleaned what it all amounts to.
Then you must do what you do in Valhalla. Keep going.
Gira y gira, gira la espada y bueno, eso. Rebota los
A
proyectiles.
flute? Oh, will you play a song, brother?
It was my daughter's. But I...
Que Valhalla manifestó otro objeto de mi pasado. Una flauta que tocaba mi hija. Tiene mucho significado más allá de su valor sentimental.
tell you of it later.
Ey, va a hablar de esta Calliope, se llamaba, ¿no? La Calliope. La Calliope.
Sigrun has been important to you for as long as I have known you. What happened in the beginning?
Oh, it's a typical enough story. A boy meets girl, girl fulfills her ambition to transcend the physical plane and become a Valkyrie of Valhalla. One day, Sigrun quietly arrived from Fjotalund and began serving as Freya's handmaiden while she undertook training for the sisterhood. I don't even think we were introduced. I just see her around the court. Of course, I'd observed her loveliness and impressive stature, but long before we fell to talking. But we seemed cut from different cloth, I suppose. Never occurred to me we'd get along as well as we did.
Bueno, pues ahí está, toca contexto.
The flute you found, you said it belonged to your daughter.
I carved it for her as a gift. She enjoyed playing and was skilled with it. It was a song she would play. One I used to remember every note of. But no longer.
Brother, if you mean to recount the story of the day you were tricked into killing your wife and daughter, you don't have to. We've told that story before. We know how it ends. You needn't relive it. That's not the story Halcyon brings to mind, is it?
No.
No, a ver, pero esto es una trampa, no caigas en la trampa. Vámonos, porque esos perros desgraciados nomás no, güey. A ver si regreso desaparecen. Ah, me los hackeé. No, güey, Cyberpunk. No mames.
Ah, I knew you could.
Siento que ese pedo es muy pedo de mi compa el de los fetiches raros, güey. Pongan una lagartija gigante, güey. No sé, güey, no. Simplemente no. Nunca me ha llamado en general. También hay dodos y medusas y tiburones. Ya me imagino, güey, haciendo ¡Tacuan todos! ¡Ataquen! ¡Y ya! A huevo, güey, puro taekwondo, güey. Solo por eso lo voy a jugar. Quiero ver el taekwondo, güey.
Sigrun, been wondering. Are the remaining Vanir and Aesir playing nice in Vanaheim?
The Asgardian relocation hasn't exactly been smooth sailing. But Hildisvini and Lady Sif are keeping the ship headed in the right direction. The people seem to understand compromise is their best path to prosperity, at least.
Truth be told, I was hoping the old boar would have to call on me to smooth things over. But it's good to hear he and Sif have it under control.
Freya hopes they'll join the council once the peace settles.
Cuando llegue la paz. No, pues spoilers, nunca va a haber paz. La paz nunca fue una opción. Tenemos otra flauta más.
Calliope's flute again. Still on your mind, brother?
Yes. I will explain later.
Bueno, tenemos más contexto de la Calliope.
You and Sigrun, how was it you first spoke?
Back when Freya was queen in Asgard, the better times, I mean, there really began to be some culture around the place. Poets, musicians, the odd contortionist would pay visits, perform, mingle. On one occasion, I'd taken a seat expecting to see this balladeer of the lowlands, when Sigrun walked in. Somehow more stunning than I'd ever seen her. And when of all places she chose to sit next to me, well, a lot of very interesting things happened very quickly. But I may need to collect my thoughts while you get us killed again.
Vale.
Let us get back to your memories of Sigrun. She sat beside you.
Yes, she chose to sit next to me. No big thing, really. Yet, somehow, despite myself, I felt a rush in my stomach like I was a green lad again. Embarrassing at the end of the day, to be so simple. I made some remark, and I learned how it felt to make her laugh. And suddenly I felt more at ease. Almost eerily so. A calm within each other's storms, I suppose.
Faye had a way of describing that. Peace dwells among us.
Lovely, brother. That's exactly right.
Todo el año. Okay.
Mumir, the day my family died was not the last time I saw Calliope. I had journeyed to the underworld to rescue Helios. When I arrived, I heard Calliope's song on the wind and found her in the fields of Elysium. It had been long since I felt such joy. But it was another trick of the gods.
It wasn't her.
Worse. It was. The goddess of the underworld wished to destroy all of creation, Elysium included. She knew that for me to stand against her meant leaving Calliope behind forever. So, I pushed my daughter away again. All while she cried and begged me not to.
Vale, si viene enfrentamiento con Tyr.
Welcome back, Kratos.
Por fin.
I have another cherished weapon from my travels to show you. Ready to see?
Ok. Me quedé con la idea de que iba...
Ready? Are you ready to win?
No.
Show me.
Ahora inflige Bifrost.
Having fun yet?
¡Ey! Ahí está de vuelta el McLuhan. Ok, ahora tenemos que hacer fuercitas.
Arms up. Trust your instincts, Kratos. Defend yourself.
Cositas.
Tell me, Kratos, truly,
Ok.
how did it feel to plunge your homeland into darkness?
I did not intend the land to suffer, but I was indifferent, consumed only by rage and retribution.
That is not what I asked. How did it feel, in that moment, your soul given over to darkness, bringing a darkness over everything you could see? Darkness come, your curse!
Ok.
Brother, find the light!
Wait for it! Arms up! Valor to go the distance, I hope. Darkness come, your curse!
You better get into the light, brother!
Be ready.
Still unpleasant.
Darkness come. Your curse.
Ok.
There's light over there, brother.
Concentrate, Kratos. Defend yourself.
Nope.
Your curse.
You've got to get into the light, brother.
Órale, güey.
Arms up.
Esa. Uh.
I yield. I yield.
Good then.
El tercer combate.
I don't think you were indifferent, Kratos. I think you were hurt. Deeply hurt. And you handled it unskillfully.
Wait, is that you restoring the sun? You took Helios's chariot and put the sun back in the sky, but sacrificed yourself in the process.
Yes. I fell to my death and was saved by Helios. But this memory happened before I killed him. My evils were yet to come. What is the point?
That your legacy has always been a complicated one. That goodness is not a destination we arrive at, but a practice. Misfortune may drive anyone to darkness. We resist it only through wisdom and vigilance. You are not so unskillful now as you were then. Better voices in your head, you might call it. I think that's enough for now. You have much to contemplate.
Yes.
Back to the beach then.
You should be proud of your progress, Kratos. See you soon.
Dominio de escudo, 2 de 5. Okay.
It seems like you're making progress, whatever you're doing in there.
Perhaps.
Listen, I know I made you feel like we expected more of you than you could give. And I just want you to know, I'm not asking you to change how you are or who you are. We had to break the old world to build a new one. Picking up the pieces and putting them together stronger. It's a rare opportunity. You made a difference here. In some circles, a symbol of change. On many days, just knowing that you're a part of the Council is enough.
And other days.
You've earned a voice. How you use it is up to you.
Ok, pues ahí está. Comienza otro intento. Veamos si tenemos más diálogos.
Continue.
I was in the fight of my life with the thugs who burned down my father's inn. Suddenly there's this sound, this flapping of feathers, and who should appear but Sigrun herself. Not yet queen, but by reputation, the best fighter the Valkyries had in memory. I was awestruck. She was confused. The violence, the mayhem she sensed, she expected to follow it to a battlefield full of honored dead, not a hideout in the slums. I apologized to her for not sending worthier souls to Valhalla, and Sigrun offered to take me under her very impressive wing. But we'll cover that part next time, all right?
Bueno, pues ahí está. Me acabo de dar cuenta que la grabación que inicié, güey, no le hice introducción ni nada, güey. Así que, pues, bueno, banda, a los que hayan visto esto a través del YouTube, pues muchas gracias, banda. Nos estamos viendo en un próximo episodio del God of War Ragnarok Valhalla. No olviden checar la descripción del video. Y bueno, pues eso, banda. Nos estamos viendo en más videos. Bye, bye, bye.